Good afternoon, I'm Jacinta with 2NURFM Hunter News. Two men are set to appear in Toronto local court this afternoon following an attempted robbery of Cardiff's Iron Horse Inn overnight. The men entered the hotel on Main Road just after 11:30, allegedly armed with a knife and sledgehammer, and demanded cash from staff, but the robbery was unsuccessful. Joanne Elliott from police headquarters says the two men were arrested shortly afterward, but the hunt is ongoing for a third suspect.
They were taken to Toronto Police Station. They've been charged now with assault with intent to rob while armed with an offensive weapon. They're both due to appear in Toronto local court later today, and police are still looking for a third person.
A West Wallsend man convicted of driving with a blood alcohol level 5 times the legal limit refuses to attend rehab despite breaching his good behaviour bond. Brendan Walker pleaded guilty to driving with a .27 reading after leaving a party where he drank bourbon and cola for an estimated 6 hours. Walker, who was disqualified from driving for 8 months, says he wants to continue attending a course but not at a rehab centre. Newcastle's Great Light Rail debate continues to ruffle some feathers, with claims of a transport impasse attracting heavy criticism from both sides. Flyers promoting next week's Newcastle Institute Forum, "The Railway Stalemate, Is There Another Way?", have been labelled deliberately misleading, suggesting members of Labor and the state government lacked the courage to outwardly oppose party policy. However, supporters insist preliminary work is already underway, with a number of major contracts and almost $500 million in funding allocated to the project. There are fears the Heburn colliery dam in Western could spill following damage in the recent storms. The dam holds 19 megalitres, and visible signs of deterioration, including large chunks missing from the spillway, have raised concern amongst the local community. Kurri Kurri Landcare President Cole Mabry says shoring up the dam should be a priority.
We've been involved in the worries about the flooding of Western for the last 25 years. It is cracked badly, and if we get another flood of the type that we did just over 2 weeks ago, it could collapse altogether, and there's 190-odd Olympic swimming pools poised 12 metres above the Western floodway.
Hunter Local Land Service is conducting a damage assessment of flood-ravaged local areas after the recent storms. The storms wiped out almost 500 livestock, and 7,000 hectares of farming land was still underwater in the 5 days following. Local Land Service General Manager Brett Miners says farmers have been hit hard.
Damage has been extensive, particularly because this was quite a unique flood. There was a lot of flash flooding involved, with the rivers also rising, so that's led to a lot of damage to farmers who wouldn't normally suffer a lot of damage through floods because they're very well prepared. Unfortunately, we've had confirmed deaths of at least 417 livestock. The vast majority of those were cattle.
The Hunter Rail network is set to reopen as the main freight line between Sydney and Brisbane is given the all-clear for storm damage. The North Coast line has been out for 2 weeks with round-the-clock repairs to damaged lines at Dungog and Talara, but will reopen from 10 a.m. on Saturday. The Australian Rail Track Corporation says the reopening is well ahead of schedule. Now with sport, Belinda Delas Harris.
Emotions continue to run high following news NRL veteran Kurt Gidley is preparing to leave the Newcastle Knights at the end of the season. The skipper will see out his career in England, inking a 1-year contract with Super League side the Warrington Wolves. It closes the book on an incredible 15 years, including 12 Origin appearances and 12 call-ups for the Green and Gold. Knights CEO Matt Gidley says his brothers enjoyed strong red and blue ties.
He's been around the club and been around dressing rooms at this club since he was 13. And he just kept hanging in there and working hard and competing hard. It's about resilience and tenacity. He's had a great career.
Meanwhile, the Knights have settled on an 18-man side for Sunday's round 9 clash with Manly. Injured enforcer Bo Scott returns to an otherwise unchanged lineup, pushing Chris Houston onto the extended bench. And there's a new face at the Maitland Magpies, with former Socceroo Matt Thompson appointed head coach for the rest of the National Premier League season. That's sport. I'm Belinda Delas Harris.
2NURFM news time is 12:10.